Watercolor doesn't have to stay soft and predictable. I'm mixing it with Inktense to add contrast, texture, and a little surprise. Let's see where this landscape goes. Let's get started. So we're going to be working with our Inktense pencils and blocks today, because I've been doing some really fun techniques with these in mixed media. First thing we're going to do is take our spray bottle and spray down a little bit of water. Don't need too much. I'm going to start off with my favorite color, which is the indigo. And I'm just going to start making some marks through here. And you can see already that the the wet is just kind of spreading this out a little bit, which is what we want. We could come back in also with the pencil to make more delicate marks and a little bit of different feel about them. I've also been really liking scraping back in with the palette knife. I'm working on the, what paper is this? This is the, a cold press paper. I'll link it above. That's one that has been recommended, and it's really cheap, so that's kind of fun. We like inexpensive things, but it really holds up well. Let's come in with a little bit more water through here. And I'm going to add in, I'm going to just scrape down with my color shaper a little bit. I've been liking starting off with the Inktense because it just kind of gives a whole different feel to the work that I'm kind of liking right now. I'm going to add in a little bit of this color is the bark. It's sort of a reddish brown. I have that in a pencil as well, which might be, actually, is that the, yeah, the bark in a pencil. And again, we can just make some really subtle marks through here. Come back in with a little bit of scraping, and then we're going to add some watercolor onto this. Sort of been liking, I'm kind of in my winter palette right now. It took a while. I was kind of staying out of it, but it's been really cloudy and sort of blah around here lately. So I've been trying to, I'm just sort of responding to what's going on and responding to these marks. And I really like what we've got going on there. Again, I'm going to come in with a little bit of Payne's Gray. And we're just going to kind of make some shapes up here. I don't want to get it too dark. I might even come in with a little bit of a paper towel to kind of take up some of that. Yeah, maybe not that much. I am going to scrape back in with the palette knife into the watercolor. Let's do a little bit more Payne's Gray. I'm working with my 1.5 or half-inch dagger stripper brush. This is, I think I have this one. This is the Master's Touch, so it's not a very expensive brand, but it works well. I've been very happy with how the Master's Touch brushes work. I'm not a huge fan of, I don't buy expensive brushes. I'm just not that person. But I don't buy really cheap ones either. So there's kind of a good mix. I'm not going to spend, you know, $50 on a watercolor brush. It's just not going to happen. Okay, I'm going to let this dry for a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to add in a little bit of this color called Haze Pink. And I think I'm going to spritz it down just a little bit. I really want this color to kind of come through here. This is a granulating Schmincke color, and it's really subtle and pretty. These really nice, subtle pink tones. I'm going to add a bit more water to it because it needs a little bit of water to get started on its granulation journey, which is always fun. It's a really cool color. I'll go ahead. I'm going to leave a link to this one too because it's one of their trio sets. You can buy it in a bigger set, but it also comes in these little sets of 3, which are really nice. I like how that color is similar to this color down here. And now I'm going to add in a bit of our umber from Schmincke, I think. What if I mix a little bit of that pink in? Is that going to give us a cool color? Maybe. Okay, let's try that. Little light wash of umber coming through here. I'm sure I like that blue now. Can I pick that up? Nope. I cannot, but we'll fix it. Let's do a little bit more of some bolder umber through here, like a thicker, almost straight out of the tube. It has a really dark sky. I'm going to add a little bit more of that umber through here. Kind of bring it down just a little bit. And then I want to add in, was that the sepia? I think I want to add in a little bit of sepia. Just through here a little bit. I know I'm adding a lot of colors. I wasn't planning on adding a lot of colors. Oh, I had some black on there. Oh well. Or some blue. Happy mistake. Let's come in with our color shaper. Just kind of pull this down. It's a little messy, but I kind of like it. Kind of like it being a little messy. I might want to add a little bit more of that bark color from the Inktense. And then I'm going to come in with just a little bit of a smaller brush. Kind of brush that out a little bit. A little stiffer brush. Maybe I want some bark up there. I don't know. Maybe. Let's scrape back in. Really get in there. Let these colors sort of blend together. Have their moment. Okay, I'm going to let all this dry. Okay, so now I've mixed up a little bit of the English red with the umber color. I've added in some Aquapasto. If you don't know what this is a watercolor medium that makes your paint thicker and makes it flow just really nicely. So we can make some really flowy marks. So I sort of want to bring in, I want to go this way. I think I want to go like through here. I need more water in there. That's a really pretty subtle color, I think. I think I want to put a little bit over here too. Just to add some light through there, let's come in with our catalyst blade. This is what you can also make some marks with. You can see how it's thicker through there. Aquapasto is one of my favorite ways to add in layers of texture into work. It doesn't take a lot. Like that really subtle line there is doing a lot of work. But of course, I want to add more. I really like that color. Let's see if we can just like bring in a little bit more of that subtle color in there with the Aquapasto. A little bit more watered down this time. I like how it's reacting with that sort of purple color. And of course you can scrape back in because it's an impasto kind of. Oh, I like that. I think that adds something. I maybe want to put, what happens if we add just a little bit of that subtle orange glow up there? Oh, I think that works. Just to kind of bring it back around. Okay, I want to bring back just a little bit of white into this area over here. I think it got a little dark. This is the Neocolor II Crayons wax crayons. It's probably my favorite way to add back in white. I really love the sky. That pink is so fabulous. Love it. Okay, we're just going to add some just a little bit of color through here, or white through here. Yeah, that works, I think. I don't want too much of it. I don't want it to look too put on, but I kind of like how subtle that is. Let's come back in with a little bit of bark. I want to even out these lines here a little bit. I think I might want some black Caran dash marks, maybe. Or maybe just, maybe some tinted charcoal. That might be a better idea. Let's try, let's use our bark Inktense instead of tinted charcoal today. I just want some texture through here. It's not nearly as flaky, I guess is the word, as the tinted charcoal, but it does a nice job. And I did wet the paper down a little bit before I put this down, so the benefit of using the Inktense over the tinted charcoal is that the Inktense is going to dry permanent. It's not going to lift, so. But I still encourage you guys to spray your work and so it doesn't move around, especially with all these layers, right? Okay, let's give it a little spritz. Let it do its thing, and we'll come back. Let's come in with our Pit pastel pencil. I want to make a black mark. Just to kind of define the space a little more. I think I also want it coming this way. You guys know how I love a black mark. This one's not as bold as normal, but I like how it sort of that shape was just looking a little flat. This kind of gives it a little bit more movement. Okay, I think that's where we're going to stop. Okay, here it is with the mat. I like it. I like starting off with the Inktense marks. I like the lovely granulating case pink up there. Love the Aquapasto and the umber coming through here. And all the marks that we made. Those little bits of white really do something for me. I really like using the Inktense with the watercolor. I think it adds like a bit of richness that you don't really get with watercolor. I think I preserve my whites really well. And I really like these marks through here. Got a little dark up here. I kind of wish I would have left some more white, and I don't really want to add more crayon through there. I could come in with some gouache maybe, but I think I'm going to leave it just sort of like that, with that little bit of white right there. Overall, very happy with this. I think it turned out well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch the video at the end. I pinned a video for you to watch next if you want to continue watching. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.